This session is being recorded and it will be available on QuantumVault's YouTube channel on Monday for everyone who would like to review it, or the ones who have missed. If your friends and all are missing, you can let them know. So today we are here for the question dialogue, where we'll be discussing how to tackle process-based questions. Now, first of all, I'd like to share a couple of ground rules with all of you people here for the webinar, so that this is a smooth process for everyone. So we'll not use any foul language and not pass any negative comments. And if any participants are observed to be doing so, then they'll have to be removed. Then second, all certificates will be awarded to the participants who appear for the post-webinar quiz. It is only for engaging the students better. It's only a 5-question easy quiz, and we'll be sharing the link with you towards the end of the webinar so that you stay tuned with us throughout the process. And all questions are subject to copyright. So please, if you need to use them, get in touch with us first. As I already told you, the recording would be available on QuantumVault's YouTube channel. The name is QuantumVault, the channel name, on Monday. So you can review it again over there. Now I would like to introduce you to QuantumVault. So I am Gargi, I'm the co-founder of QuantumVault, and I'll be your moderator for today. So QuantumVault is an academic organization based in India, but we try to cater to needs of the international education community, and our aim is to develop 21st century skills in students by engaging them in interesting events. Now, what is different about QuantumVault is that we have process-based questions. Today in this session, you'll come to know how process-based questions are different than the regular memory-based questions that we have in our day-to-day curriculum. Our result reports are detailed so that you are not trapped in the ranking process and always comparing yourself to the first rank. We give you insights which help in your personal development and for you to achieve new heights. Our team is young and we collaborate with experienced academicians. We have 2 very experienced academicians and researchers with us for you today. So I request you to please maintain decorum with them so that the program goes on smoothly. I would like to brief you about our progress. We came around 15 months ago, and during the pandemic, we have reached 67 countries and have impacted more than 40,000 students and 7,500 teachers from 2,500 schools through various of our programs. This year, in the coming period, we from November 10th to 10th December, we have these 5 quizzes. That is the International Chemistry Quiz, which is a very popular event by the Royal Australian Chemical Institute, Australia. And then there are 4 events exclusively by QuantumVault. That is the Global Citizen Quantist, which is a current affairs and awareness quiz. The Wizard, which is a short story writing competition targeted at enhancing the creativity of young students. The Enviro Quiz, which is on environment and sustainability. And the Sci-Fi Quiz, a combination of science and mathematics. You will come to know today why all of these quizzes are special, even though the subjects are pretty common. The speakers will discuss how our questions are differentiating based on those 3 points, how the process-based questions stand out. I would like to show you a small video about the QuantumVault quizzes.
Are you tired of mugging up long answers and reproducing them in exams? Well, no more, as QuantumVault brings 5 fun, engaging, and learning-focused events to take you away from rote learning. More than 10 lakh students from 25 countries have appeared. A certificate from CI Australia remains part of your resume for the next 10 years. As leaders of tomorrow, how about increasing your awareness of pertinent environmental and sustainability issues? A single quiz to test yourself in both maths and science. Isn't it fascinating? Today's world requires us to be socially and politically aware. Let's sharpen our current affairs on the go. Each one of us has a story within. This is your chance to share your story with the world. So, what are you waiting for? Register now and don't let any event slip away.
Now
Are you tired of
I also have another video from one of our ex-participants of ICQ who will share his views about the event in just under a minute.
Hello everyone, my name is Amrit Mitra. I am International Junior Science Olympiad 2019 gold medalist of International Chemistry Olympiad 2021. International Chemistry Quiz was previously known as Australian National Chemistry Quiz, that is the ANCQ. I have been given ANCQ since my standard 7. And every year I have won excellence award. I started to develop my interest in chemistry during the preparation time for the ANCQ in my standard 7 exam. The questions asked in the exam are based on application. These questions help me to develop critical thinking in chemistry. This type of critical thinking is useful to crack international chemistry Olympiad. Lastly, I would like to encourage all young bright minds to participate in the International Chemistry Quiz, that is the ICQ. Hello everyone, my name is.
So that was Mahit, and now I will not take much of your time with all of this and start the session with Dr. Brijesh Pare, who is the professor and head of Department of Chemistry at Madhav Science College and the president-elect of Association of Chemistry Teachers India. Today, Dr. Pare will be taking you through various questions of ICQ, sci-fi, enviro quiz, etc., and discussing interesting process-based questions with you. So be engaged with him, participate. When he asks the questions, please answer to the chat box because all of these questions are multiple choice questions. So do engage and you'll see that you'll be able to attempt most of the questions today. So have fun and enjoy this session. Dr. Pare, I will stop sharing my screen now so that you can do it.
Okay. Thank you, Gargi. Thank you very much. I have to share my screen. Just 1 minute. It is visible?
Yes, sir. We can see.
Okay. So it's a really very pleasant afternoon. Thank you, Gargi. And I can see a very beautiful and very bubbling, students from across India and from overseas. And I really first congratulate these students, for showing such a wonderful enthusiasm for participating in the quizzes, by QuantumVault. And today, now they are joining us, to know about the type of the questions and the quality of the question and how to tackle those questions and what is the beauty and what is the importance of those questions. I will just go very slowly with the students, and I hope all they will find it very engaging, and we together will try to learn few things and will enjoy doing things. So usually what happens, when you go to any talk or any lecture, and the lecture starts, this is the situation of the student, and after just 5 minutes, they go like that. So my challenge, as a speaker, as a teacher, is that this should not happen. I hope, this will not happen, and I will take the challenge, head on. So anyway, let me start my things with asking the students, of course, they are very intelligent and sensible, but still, there is a test. Are you sensible if I ask you? So how you are going to respond? So most people, they tire of a lecture in 10 minutes, but those who are clever people, they can do it in just 5 minutes. But the sensible people, they will not go to lectures at all, they just relax at home, just doing their own, the mobile kind of things. But anyway, this is just a start of my things. And guys, you're all, the 21st century guys, and 21st century, you all know that it is really, really more challenging as the time advances, and the technology advances. And so the challenges are, the bigger challenges are there before us. So for 21st century, the students, you need to have 4 C. You may be aware of, the one is creativity, second is critical thinking, third is communication, and fourth is collaboration. So these 4 C's are really very important, and you all need to inculcate all these things among you, and that is possible, and there are tools and techniques for it. What today we are going to talk, will definitely enhance your creativity and your critical thinking. Let me know what creativity is. Creativity is the process of generating new ideas. World is changing incredibly fast, and the breakthrough ideas are required to stay competitive. So this is one has to be very creative in order to be very competitive. Okay. Now, see, generating fresh ideas is actually quite challenging because most people, they find it difficult to get beyond very normal and usual and obvious and incremental solutions. Every time there is a problem, we just try to look for a very stereotype of solutions. Okay, that is not creativity. And true creativity requires the ability to break new ground, and which requires significant efforts. That is possible. I will see how these questions today going to help you. So one more important thing, that's a good news. Sometimes, it is taught even, or it is said, like creativity is something very innate. It is very natural. There are people, if they are creative by birth, they are creative, and others cannot be creative. This is absolutely wrong. Let me tell you, the modern researcher says that creativity can be learned, creativity can be taught, and some other day definitely I will be more elaborative on that. But today, what we are going to do today will going to help you to be more creative. And then comes the creative thinking. Creative thinking is like, thinking out of box. If suppose there is a problem, you have some because you are a creative boy, girl, and you have some 4 to 5 or 6 solutions for that. Then comes the role of creative thinking, how to choose the best possible, plausible solution to that problem, where you have some 4 to 5 or 6 solutions. So out of the 6, 7 solutions, how to arrive at the most pertinent solution, that is known as critical thinking. And I will just go through some of the questions from the ICQ, that is the International Chemistry Quiz by Royal Australian Chemical Institute, Australia. Then the Enviro Quiz, that is based on the questions of the environmental science and sustainability, and of course on SciPy quiz. So I'm just showing, you may be all aware of the Newton, no? The Newton, he was just sitting under the tree, and the story says the apple fall, they fell like that. And this is the size of the book of the physics, so many laws he has given, to read and to learn and to solve. But see, the thing is, instead of this apple tree, if he was somewhere near the the coconut tree, so what would have happened? It's the size of the book, the physics would have been like that. I mean, there would not be any, the gravity solutions and problem kind of thing. It just on the lighter side of this. But anyway, Newton was highly creative, and any boy can be a creative like that. Okay, so once again, I take this opportunity to welcome Dr. Amrit Mitra, and my friend. He will be speaking after me, and you will definitely enjoy his session also. So let us come and enjoy some questions from ICQ, from Enviro Quiz, and let us try to learn these beautiful questions. They are process-based, that is not based on the rote learning, where you have to just the cramming or mugging and you have to reply. All memory kind, no, not at all. We will read the stem of the question. The information is given first in the question, and on the basis of the given information, we have to arrive at the most appropriate. You can just say the correct answer, but I'm saying the most appropriate answer because sometimes there may be more than one correct answers, and now we have to sort out and we have to decide which is the most appropriate. Okay, guys, so you are ready, and just go through. The screen is on your computer. I'm reading it out. This is the stem. This portion is called as the stem, the information. When seawater freezes, pure ice is formed that contains no salt. This is a very important information. Okay, when the seawater freezes and the pure ice does not contain any salt. A container of seawater is placed in a freezer until it is partly frozen. I mean, not fully, okay, only partly frozen. The unfrozen water left in the container will be A, more salty than the original seawater, less salty than the original seawater, just as salty as the original seawater? It is not possible to predict an answer without more information. This is one of the questions I have taken from the past question of ICQ. So are you just responding to it? I have to see. Oh, so option A. Oh, lovely, everyone. Parth Agrawal. Then one Sanvi B. Then C also. Oh, lot of answers coming out. Beautiful. B. But anyway, there is a mix. And Arya Neil. That is B. Okay. Okay. So I'm so happy. But anyway, I have to discuss this question. So anyway, let us come with me and see what is happening. See, suppose there is a container in which there is a seawater which is containing salt. Okay, now you are allowing it to freeze. So what will happen? Suppose half of the water, converted into ice. So what will happen? And the ice, here what they are saying, the pure ice does not contain salt. Now, whatever the initial amount of salt was there, okay, in the water, now it is the salt is there, but the water has really reduced to half, is it not? Because half of the water got converted into ice. So now A is the correct answer, that the remaining water, is more salty than the original seawater, because what has happened? Half of the water got converted into ice, but the salt is there only in the beaker. So therefore, the original seawater, it is more salty than the original. I think you like this question. Okay, so let me go ahead. So some of you saying the less salty water, that is really incorrect, because the salt is there only. Okay, some of you are saying that a C, it is as salty. No, it is not as salty, because it is having more salt now, because the water has reduced to half and the amount of salt remains the same. I think it is clear. Okay. Let me go to the next question. So where is that? So yeah. Okay. This question is before you. I like this question very much. Boys and girls, even if you are class 7th or class 8th or class 9th, you just know about the gases. You know about the hydrogen. Have you heard about hydrogen? Helium is a gas, oxygen is a gas, and carbon dioxide is a gas. Okay, so these are the gases, very common gases. You might have, certainly you all know that hydrogen, helium, oxygen. Okay, now you did not to have any kind of rote learning or any kind of the remembrance or recalling, nothing. Don't worry. Let us look at this table and see what they have done. Here the 4 gases are written, and then these 4 properties, these are the 4 properties are compared here. First property, heavier or lighter than air. Whether the hydrogen is heavier or lighter than air. So it is lighter. Helium, it is lighter than air. This is the comparison between this gas and the air. Okay. Oxygen, about the same, and carbon dioxide is heavier. So this is one information given. Now the second, does it burn in air? Hydrogen, yes, it burns in air. Helium, no. Oxygen, no. Carbon dioxide, no. So this was the second property. Okay, fine. Now the third, is it soluble in water? Hydrogen, no. Hydrogen is not soluble in water. Helium, no. Oxygen, yeah, slightly soluble. Carbon dioxide, yes. Okay. Then fourth, will a flame burn in it? Hydrogen, no. If there is hydrogen, it won't burn. The flame will not burn. Helium, no. Yes. If oxygen is there, the flame will burn. Carbon dioxide, no. Now, these are the information. What is the question? Which of the gases listed in the table is being poured over the candle flame? See, this is one open beaker, you can call it. Okay, and the one flame candle is there, it is burning, and another beaker is there, container, where some gas is there. Now, let us try to understand. This is an open beaker where this is the flame is burning. Here, this is filled with air, okay, because this is in the open atmosphere. Now, what they are asking because there are 4 options, A, B, C, D: hydrogen, helium, oxygen. Which gas is being poured, and as a result of that, the candle flame, goes out, extinguish. It got extinguished. So, what is the answer to this question? Let me see. Oh, there are D also, Chinmay, B, then Anish, carbon dioxide, option D, Suryanshu, carbon dioxide, but there are people saying Vedanti, A, hydrogen is also there. I think, you should really look into it. Just no memory kind of thing, nothing. What the information is given, let me try. Let me teach you how to do it. Let us suppose. Now look at here. Don't write anything, please. Okay. Suppose this is hydrogen. Suppose hydrogen is being poured here. What will happen? Let me tell you. The first property, hydrogen is lighter than air. And suppose here this is filled with air and you are pouring this hydrogen, the hydrogen will not replace this air because hydrogen is lighter than air. So it cannot be hydrogen, at least. Helium, of course, it is lighter. So again, helium cannot replace the air filled here because it is open. What about oxygen? Yes, because oxygen is almost the same, and this air also contains oxygen, but you are pouring the pure oxygen. So definitely there is a possibility that oxygen can replace the filled air. So that is one thing. See, now this carbon dioxide, it is heavier. So it can definitely very easily replace the filled air and it can go inside. But let us wait now. Let us wait. Suppose it is the oxygen. So what will happen? The oxygen, say the flame burned in it, Will the flame burn it? Yes. See, but had it been oxygen, the flame would be burning. It would not have got extinguished. It is the carbon dioxide, which does not allow the flame to burn, Okay. So now the answer comes. It cannot be hydrogen because hydrogen is lighter. Okay. Helium is lighter. They cannot replace air inside. Now it is between the oxygen and carbon dioxide. Oxygen really allows it to burn. Carbon dioxide won't allow it to burn. So the answer is carbon dioxide. What I want to show here, that here, like when in whatever class you are studying, it is 7th or 8th or whatever 9th class, the only thing, you need not have any kind of recalling or remembrance, nothing, and the given information in a nicely tabulated format where you have to make use of your analytical skill. And once you are using your analytical skill, it is going to be honed, it is going to be sharpened, and that is what is required. Okay. So these are, of course, a question, not a difficult question, but when you come across such questions, your analytical skill is going to be sharpen and sharpen. I like this question very much. Okay, so let us go ahead with the question. I'll go to the next question. I hope you like this question. Okay, another simple question. Solid salt is added to water. This is water. This is water and this is the salt. And the mixture is stirred until no more of the salt dissolves. What happens, suppose there is a container, there is a water, you are adding salt, salt dissolves, keep on adding until no more salt dissolves. So it becomes a saturated solution. Now, the salt that does not dissolve settles out. This salt, is that which, it was not dissolved because this water already has salt. This was the additional salt which is just lying there, undissolved. What happens to the concentration of the salt in the solution if the water evaporates? The evaporation when you are heating it or just kept in the outside in the sun, the evaporation, water from the surface goes out. And as a result of that, only this much of water left at constant until the solution is half the original. Now it is the half of that. Okay. The question. The concentration of the evaporated solution. This is the evaporated solution. And the concentration means the amount of solute in the solvent. This water is a solvent. This is a solute. So what is the answer? Whether the concentration of it is increases, does not change, decreases, or D. What is that? I have to check. Just a minute. Yeah. Either increases or decreases. Just wait 1 minute. Who is writing this particular thing? Okay. No problem. A. Dhavani. Then Nayonika says C. Decreases. Okay. Then there is A also. Tanav Bhatia says A. Then Kartavya Gupta says increases. Anybody who says decrease, increases, okay, increases. No decreases, fine. Okay, so let me come to this. Salt, the total amount of salt is here only. What is coming out of this beaker is only the water molecules, they are going out. As a result of that, the amount of water goes down, okay? But the salt remains the same. So of course the concentration increases, right? Because the salt is having a high, melting point. It cannot go away, okay? And what the information says, that the evaporation takes place, and that is of the water only. And as a result of that, the remaining solution now having half of the solvent, that is the water, the amount of solute, that is the salt, remains the same. So now it is, because earlier the same amount of salt was in the larger volume of water, now it is in the half. Therefore, the concentration, that is what we defined. Concentration is the amount of solute in the solvent. Okay, so now it is more. Because the salt remains the same, but this water concentration has gone down. Okay, so I hope you like this question. Again, of course, not very difficult question, but it can be done just by reading there and there only. Okay, guys, now I'm coming to this environmental based question. As you may all be aware that the planet Earth now is facing really very stress now. And the stressfulness is because of the lot of the industries are coming, so much of the exhaust comes out of that, and because of that, we all know we are facing climate change. So now we have to be very aware of that, and I will discuss on that also. But let us see this question, which is very, very directly related to an environmental problem. Man-made, this is the stem I am reading out. Please read it. Man-made disasters are due to human carelessness or mishandling of the dangerous equipments and chemicals. For example, in the Bhopal gas tragedy, it really occurred long back. It was in 1984, but still, the sufferings are still there, and it was a very, very big accident. It was a chemical accident, and that was due to the leakage of a gas. See, this is very important. Leakage of a gas, and the name of the gas was methyl isocyanate. Don't worry about the name, from the factory of the Union Carbide. That was in Bhopal in Madhya Pradesh in India. So what happened? Let me tell you very briefly that this industry was making, this chemical industry was making fertilizers, and in making the fertilizer, they are using chemicals, and one of the chemicals was a gas, that is methyl isocyanate. So what happens, when the accident took place, the container, which was having the gas methyl isocyanate, which was very, very dangerous gas, it broke down and it just went into the sky, in the environment, and it killed many, many people. Okay, so this is the thing. Now, what is the question? This is the information given to you. Question: had the gas methyl isocyanate been in a liquid or solid state, the magnitude of the disaster would have been, because see, if suppose I say 10,000 or 50,000 people died because of that. Now the question is, this gas, which really leaked because of the accident, had it been in a liquid state, or rather in a solid state, for example, not a gas. So what would have happened? A, the magnitude of disaster will be extremely high. Magnitude of disaster will be extremely low. State of methyl acetate does not matter, or insufficient information to predict. I want to see. Magnitude of disaster will be extremely low. Why? Can anybody just write? I will be very happy if you say that the B is the correct answer. Oh, Partha is raising hand. Okay. So just let us allow Parth to speak, please. Parth Agrawal wants to speak. 11 participants raising hand. Please give opportunity to 1 or 2 students, please. Sunny?
Yes, Parth, please unmute yourself.
Parth, unmute yourself. Parth?
Yes, ma. Yes, sir.
Yeah, please speak out.
Yes, sir.
Why
Sir, the
you
answer will be
consider
option B.
Hmm.
Because the gas will spread more fastly than a liquid or a solid, then it will harm more people. So it will
Yes.
be less.
Okay.
When
Now anybody else want? No, you are absolutely right, Partha. Let me listen some anybody, 1 or 2 other. Please allow somebody else. Should
Chinmay.
Chinmay?
Sir, as the gases spread very fast, as we know that the intermolecular force of attraction in gases is not as good as that in solids and liquids. So
Okay.
they'll spread very fast, and that's why the disease would spread rigorously and many people would be affected. But if it is in solids or liquids, it would not spread that fast and the disease would not spread that fast.
Great. Now, okay, now let me finish it, and other students will get the opportunity a little later. Wonderful. This is a green technology. Let me tell you, this is a green technology where you have to use chemicals which are less toxic, that is one thing. Okay, see the point here. Can't we use any other chemical instead of methyl isocyanate, which is less hazardous, less toxic? Okay, and see, one thing is for sure, that we need to prepare fertilizers. You know, fine, let us prepare fertilizers, but is it necessary to use the chemicals of such a high degree of toxicity? No, that is one thing. And secondly, what you guys are saying, B is the correct answer, because let us imagine, assume that this dangerously toxic chemical methyl isocyanate had been in a liquid state. What would have happened? Even if the container was broken, okay, the liquid must have splashed, out in the surrounding. Some of the people might have really suffered because of that, but it was a liquid, it would have just remained there stationed only. And in case of the solid, the danger must have been much less. It was, but unluckily it was a gas, and once the gas leaked out, it went, through to kilometers and kilometers around the region of Bhopal. And many people, those who were not in the vicinity of this union carbide industry, somebody, was somewhere, sleeping in the house. The gas reached there, and the fellow died. Many people died because of that. So that is how, this is a very good question to raise your interest and your awareness also, that is what is required from the industries, and how to, have a sustainable and safe society. Okay, so should I go ahead? Very good answer by the students. Really, it's very good. Okay, now one more thing that is slightly different. See how thing goes. The wool sorters disease. This man having, very dangerous, well, that is the killer disease. It is known as the wool sorters disease. Those who are working with the wool, here, these people, just I'm giving one picture. So wool sorter disease or anthrax was first noticed in the year 1846 in England. Anthrax is a disease caused by a bacterium called Bacillus anthracis. It is a disease which has existed for hundreds of years and which still occurs naturally in both animals and humans in many parts of the world. Bacillus anthracis can survive in the environment by forming spores, that we know. This makes sorter's job very risky since it's a fatal disease. See how dangerous it is. Any person suffering from a disease, anthrax, gets dark black sores on the skin, and many people died because of that. Anyway, so we need to know about it. And now there are 1 or 2 questions on it. Which of the following is responsible for the fatal disease anthrax? Any virus, bacteria, dust, or smoke? I think this is Some are saying B, option B, some are okay, because it is bacteria, already it is given. But those who are saying A, I think they are somewhere else, But anyway, no problem. It is not a dust or a smoke. Okay. And one more question is there. Which bacteria is responsible for this fatal blood disease? So these are all the bacteria, but the Bacillus anthracis is already given the name in the content. So I was more interested to just let you know about the disease and the environmental kind of thing. So anyway, I will just go ahead with this now. This is fine. Okay. This question is beautiful. Huh? I seek your attention on this question. Please look at here. A student heated some water and recorded the temperature every half minute. Fine. When the water was boiling, we all know, probably everybody who is there, more than 250 students are there, they may be aware that the water boils at 100 degrees centigrade. When the water was boiling, a spoonful of salt was dissolved in the water, and further observations were recorded. The observations are shown in the graph. Let me tell you what is that. Nothing to be worried about, but this question has a lot of learning potential. This is a graph between time in minutes versus temperature. Now the water was being heated. Let's see what is happening with the time. The temperature start raising somewhere around 100 degrees centigrade. This is 100 degree. Water boiling at 100 degree. So what was done? What was done? Salt was added. So what is the result? What was the observation? Water stops boiling. See, water stops boiling, but the heating was going on. Okay, but here somewhere at 103 degree, this was 100 degrees centigrade, 103 degree, water boils again after 3 degree, and here between 100 to 103, it was not boiling. Why it was not boiling? Because some salt was added to it. Fine. Now, what does the graph show? Salty water always boils at 103 degrees centigrade. Salt can raise the boiling temperature of water. Definitely, we saw earlier it was boiling at 100. When you added salt, that boiling stops, again started at 103. Salt dissolves in boiling water. Yes. Yeah, when you added salt, it really got dissolved. To stop water from boiling, salt must be added. It is a very beautiful question, really. Because, see, I think more than one correct answer there, because, see, salty water always boil. I'm not sure. You have to reply. Salt can raise the boiling temperature. That is a fact. We have just seen and the observation was there. Salt dissolve in boiling water. Yes, but there is a possibility that the salt does dissolve in the cold water also. We know that the common salt, you add into water, it dissolves. But this is the correct thing. To stop water from boiling, salt must be added. You have to respond to it. Let me see how things are going on. B and C, right. Very good. But only the one correct answer we have to reach. B. Okay. Please raise your hands, 1 or 2 students. I will be interested to know your opinion. Gargi, please see.
Yes, sir. So should I unmute some people?
Yeah, definitely 1 or 2 students. Yeah, at least. Yeah, I will be interested.
Kanav Singhal, please unmute yourself.
Sir, I think the answer will be option B, sir.
Option is B. Okay, yes. Why?
So the reason is, sir, like salt, right? If we add, right, so it is a type of impurity for the water, so it will raise the boiling temperature.
So what about C? Salt dissolves in boiling water.
It will decrease. Sir, for freezing point, it will decrease.
Yeah, no. See, you are a slight. You know about the freezing of. Elevation of boiling point and depression of freezing point. I'm not talking about that at the moment. That is a different thing. But anyway, we just want to work upon the given information and in the form of the graph, and then C, which is salt dissolves in boiling water. Why you cannot have C as the correct answer? Are you sure? It dissolves in salt.
Yes, sir, but it is not giving us the, the statement provided in the graph. We cannot get into a statement with that.
Right. You are right, because now you can say that we are working on the most appropriate answer, not the correct answer. Is it not? Because yes, otherwise, yeah. Because see, B is the correct answer. Salt can raise the boiling temperature of water. This is, the crux of the whole information given here. What is being asked, in fact, they don't want you to reply this C. The salt dissolves in boiling water. That is the correct statement. But here, it's not a relevant, it's not appropriate one. And what about the D? Anybody else? You are right, huh? You are right.
Shlok Mane.
Shlok.
Sir, can you hear me?
Yeah. Please speak.
Yeah. It cannot be D because it is like to stop water from boiling, salt must be added. It does not stop water from boiling. It just postpones the process.
Yeah.
Like it just postpones the process. So when you increase the temperature, it takes time. So it is just postponing the process after all.
Yes, absolutely right. It cannot be D because see, it is 103. If suppose it starts boiling, and if you have added some more salt here, there is a possibility that the temperature may rise still. It may just start boiling. Only one question. Okay, it may go up to 300, 105, 106 degree. Okay, so you are absolutely right, guys. I think B is the correct answer because see, A cannot be correct because salty water always boils 100 degrees. No, if you add some more salt, the temperature may go up. It may be 105, 107, whatever it is, as per the amount of salt, So B is the correct answer. So I will be discussing one more question, and then later Dr. Amrit Mitra will be there. I'm very happy to talk to you guys. Okay. This is a good question of my liking. Usually, the students have some kind of confusion when it goes to the negative side of the scaling. Okay. So here, just see, it is 0 and we are going below 0. So, and minus 20 degree, minus everything. The diagram below shows the temperature at which some of gases of the air condense to liquid. When the air is cool or any gas is cool, it gets, it is liquefied, and it gets converted into liquid. Air condenses to liquids. The negative sign in front of each temperature means below 0. Let us see. Xenon, krypton, oxygen, and all these kind of gases up to neon. A sample of air, this is the sample of air, is cooled to a temperature of minus 180 degrees centigrade, minus 180 degrees centigrade. That is below 180. Which of the gases shown in the diagram above will be liquids at that temperature? See, you are just decreasing the temperature. And first it was xenon, which was a gas in the air. It got liquefied. Instead of the gas, now it is in the form of a liquid. Then still you went on decreasing somewhere around 150, 160. The krypton was there. Fine. Okay, this krypton was a gas. Now it is a liquid. But these are all still gases. You are at this temperature. They are still gases. You went on decreasing, and now they are asking that somewhere around minus 180. What is the answer? A, B, C, D. Anybody? Yes. Option C. What is option C? Krypton and xenon. Okay. Then option B, that is argon, nitrogen. How it can be argon, nitrogen? Because they are below 180. Still you have to go down. It cannot be argon, nitrogen. C. Yeah, everybody looks to, but somebody says B. No, let us try to understand, guys. I'm very happy how, see, you have a mixture of these gases, it is a mixture, and when you are cooling that mixture, that sample, so you are gradually decreasing the temperature from 0. You are going below 0. Okay, so somewhere here, as I told you, it was xenon liquefied, then this, and let us see up to below, up to minus 180, only these two gases, because if you want to liquefy oxygen, you have to go beyond below 180. Still it may be around 185, 190, but they are asking that what is the situation at minus 180 degree. So only these two gases could be liquefied. So C is the correct answer. Okay, Gargi, how much time is left for me?
Sir, I think now we'll invite Dr. Mitra.
Okay. Thank you. So thank you very much, boys and girls, for giving me a patient hearing. And please now enjoy. My friend Dr. Amrit Mitra will be coming. and he will be interacting with you. Thank you very much.
So thank you so much, Dr. Pare. I think all the students have enjoyed your session a lot, and the students have participated also. So that is very encouraging. Now I would like to invite Dr. Amrit Mitra, who is the Assistant Professor and Head at Department of Chemistry at Government General Degree College in Singraur. He is also a member of Executive Council of Association of Chemistry Teacher. Dr. Mitra is a very senior professor, and he has been involved in the Olympiad question making for a lot of years. He has done his master's from IIT Kharagpur and his doctorate from University of Calcutta. Dr. Mitra, I would request you to share your screen, and thank you for being with us today here. Students, let us enjoy Dr. Mitra's session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're audible, sir.
Okay, sir. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, visible.
Thank you, Gargi madam. I want to thank right at the outset of my lecture to Professor Brijesh Pare sir. I respect him a lot. And sir, it is a wonderful time for me as well to listen to you. We can learn so many things from you, sir.
Thank
Please
you.
accept my regards.
Most
Thank
welcome
you,
now. Now it's a chance for us to enjoy it. Please, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Okay, my dear students. Today I'm going to discuss a few of the problems. It is better not to call it a one-sided discussion session, but it will be better if you all interact with me. Okay. Okay. So I have selected a few thought-provoking problems, and we can call it the problems involving higher order thinking skills or HOTS. So let us try to focus that how one can solve a problem like this, okay? Or how one can approach to solve a particular problem like this. So this is the first problem I'm going to discuss with all of you. Try to follow the STEM first. So whenever you are going to face a particular multiple choice question, initially try to focus on the STEM, try to read the STEM, and initially please do not focus on the distractors. Initially, please do not focus on the options given to you. Try to read the STEM carefully. Try to focus on the STEM. Here, the STEM is saying the cell membrane, also known as the plasma membrane, is a double layer of lipids and proteins that surrounds the cell. It separates the cytoplasm, the contents of the cell, from the external environment. With few exceptions, cellular membranes, including plasma membrane and internal membranes, are made of glycerophospholipids. Glycerophospholipids molecules are composed of glycerol, a phosphate group, and 2 fatty acid chains. So some preamble is given to this particular problem. So the STEM is quite clear. Now try to focus on the problem. So this particular structure is given to you. So this is the structure, and all of you probably know that this particular unit is known as the glycerol moiety, and these linkages are called the ester linkages, right? So here comes the problem. This 3-carbon molecule functions as the backbone of this membrane lipids, okay? So the question is, by looking at the molecular structure of glycerophospholipids, actually the structure of glycerophospholipid, it has been given to you. At the time when a good professional or when a good teacher makes a particular multiple choice question, what Professor Pare sir has already said, that particular teacher will never make a problem. It is quite dependent on memorizing some fact. Rather, the problem should be such that a particular student can answer that particular problem based on some basic concept. So, and you will see that many of the times there are some problems, but the clue has already been given in the stem or it is given in the preamble. Okay. So try to focus this particular problem. Here the question is, this 3-carbon molecule functions as the backbone of these membrane lipids. The first question, by looking at the molecular structure of glycerophospholipids, which of the following chemical elements is absent in the molecule? You see that in this particular problem, nothing is there to remember or to recall. Just simply focus on this particular structure, and then you will be able to answer this particular problem, right? So if you follow this particular structure, you will see that carbon atom is present, nitrogen is not present, oxygen is present, phosphorus is present. So which particular element is absent in this molecule? Obviously, the correct answer is going to be nitrogen. That is option A. Okay. Now let us move to the next problem. Which part or group of the glycerophospholipids acts as a backbone of the membrane lipid? So this particular question is quite tricky. Which part or group of the glycerophospholipid acts as a backbone of the membrane lipid? Is there anyone who just want to share his or her views with me? Okay, option D. Ayush is saying carboxylic acid. Option D. Fatty acids. Option D. Option A. Option B. Okay. You see that which part or group of glycerophospholipid acts as the backbone of the membrane lipid. You see that this particular backbone is composed of this particular functionality. You see CH2O, CHO, CH2O. So here the correct answer is going to be the glycerol head. So here this particular glycerol unit, all of you probably know the structure of glycerol. The structure of glycerol is CH2OH, CHOH, and CH2OH. So 3 OH functionalities are present in the molecule like glycerol. And you see that nature knows everything. And nature tries to modulate the structure of glycerol in such a way so that the backbone of such glycerophospholipid can be made using this particular glycerol moiety. So here the correct answer is going to be option C. Okay, no problem. Now let us move to the next problem. Okay. So this particular problem is quite related to the concept of allotropy. I think that most of you know the concept of allotropy, right? How can one define allotropy? Allotropy can be defined as the existence of a chemical element in 2 or more forms, which may differ in the arrangement of atoms. So you can see that a simple preamble is there. Allotropy can be defined as the existence of a chemical element in 2 or more forms which may differ in the arrangement of atoms. A fullerene is an allotrope of carbon. This molecule consists of carbon atoms connected by single and double bonds so as to form a closed soccer ball-like structure. People often call it buckyball. This particular molecule is known as Buckminster Fullerene or buckyball. A molecule made up of 60 carbon atoms arranged in the shape of a sphere. This particular molecule is popularly known as C60 fullerene. In this particular C60 fullerene structures have spherical cage consisting of 12 pentagonal and 20 hexagonal rings. You can see that there are several pentagonal rings and there are several hexagonal rings are also there. Okay, so a preamble is there. Now try to follow the problem. Okay. So here comes the problem. Are the 5-membered rings of carbon isolated or contiguous? What is your idea? Please share your views. Okay, Hari Krishnan is saying A. A, B, D. Shoham is saying option A. Satyam A. Rehan, Ankit, Adda, Vidushi. Okay, okay. Yes, obviously, most of you are saying that the correct answer is going to be option A. Yes, it is true. Because here you can see that the 5-membered rings of carbon atoms, they're quite isolated. So they're not contiguous, right? So obviously here the correct answer is going to be option A. So you see that that you need nothing to remember to solve a problem like this. Just try to follow the preamble, just try to follow the stem, just try to follow the structure given, and then you will be able to answer that particular problem. Here, if you do not know anything about allotropy, or if you do not know anything about Buckyball or Buckminster Fullerene, then also you will be able to solve this particular problem if you focus minutely on the structure of the C60 fullerene given on the screen. Here you see that this particular 5-membered rings of carbon is quite isolated. This is not at all contiguous. Okay, so in this way we can solve a problem like this. Okay, so the next question is, how many carbons is each carbon connected to? How many carbons is each carbon connected to? What is going to be your answer? Here the distractors are 6, 3, 2, 4. So you may type your answer C, 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 B, 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 C, B, C. So all of you are writing either C or B. Okay, okay, okay. You see that that this particular structure, can give you a better picture to solve this particular problem. Here the scheme is, how many carbons is each carbon connected to? So just try to focus on any of the carbon atoms present in this particular molecule. So you will see that if I focus on any particular carbon present in this molecule, then we will be able to observe that this particular carbon is connected to 3 other carbon atoms. So here the correct answer is going to be option B. That is a particular carbon atom is connected to 3 other carbon atoms. Okay, okay. Try to follow next problem. In this particular problem, a very good preamble has been given, and I like this problem a lot. Here the preamble is saying that sugar itself does not directly harm teeth, okay? But it enables 2 big culprits of tooth decay bacteria and acids. These bacteria feed on the sugar to grow, and they create a little bacterial community that are known as plaque. The plaque allows bacteria to stay on the teeth longer until eventually the bacteria make acids, which destroy the tooth enamel and cause cavities. The enamel of our teeth is composed of a highly substituted HAB, which is popularly known as hydroxyapatite, and the molecular formula has been given in the stem as well. The hydrogen ions, H plus itself attacks the tooth mineral crystals and directly dissolve by combining with either the carbonate ion or the phosphate ion as shown in the equation below. So try to follow the preamble, try to follow the same minutely. Please focus that here the reaction has also been mentioned, and the reaction has also been given, and another additional information is there. For example, hydrochloric acid, which dissociates completely in water to hydrogen ions and chloride ions, rapidly and directly dissolve and removes the mineral surface that is known as enamel. So from such preamble, now comes the problems. Okay, Actually, the first problem is the lower pH inside the mouth is a threat to enamel decay due to the distractors are less hydrogen ion concentration, or more hydrogen ion concentration, due to more sugar in mouth, or due to sour taste. Please share your thoughts in the chat box. Yes, most of you are saying option B. Option B. Okay. Devansh, Ambuj, Slok, Adda, Chinmay, Ankit, Hari Krishna, Vidushi, Parth. Yes. Most of you are saying that the correct distracted, or the correct answer is going to be option B. Because you see that, this particular question is quite straightforward, because all of you know that that the lower pH means the concentration of H plus is comparatively higher. So based on that particular knowledge, you can solve this problem. The lower pH inside the mouth is a threat to enamel decay, obviously due to more hydrogen ion concentration. So if we go back to the previous slide, then we will see that some information regarding this particular problem has also been given in the preamble. Here you see that it has been mentioned the hydrogen ions itself attacks the tooth mineral crystals and directly dissolve by combining with either the carbonate ion or the phosphate ion, as shown in the equation below. And below that, additional information has also been given. Hydrochloric acid, it dissociates completely in water to hydrogen ions and chloride ions, rapidly and directly dissolves and remove the mineral surface. Now, when the pH is low, that means obviously the concentration of hydrogen ion is going to be much higher. So this particular problem is quite straightforward. If you follow the second problem, what is the plaque deposited on teeth? What is the plaque deposited on teeth? Solid calcium phosphate, solid calcium carbonate, friend of enamel or foe of the enamel, friend of enamel or foe of the enamel. So how can we solve this particular problem? How can we solve this particular problem? What is going to be your answer? You are saying option D. Yes, option D. Option D. Yes. All of you are saying option D. Yes, obviously the plaque deposited on teeth is basically for the enamel. So this particular information has also been mentioned in the preamble, right? So initially, do not focus on the distractors. If some preamble is given, try to focus on the preamble first, then try to read the scheme carefully, and then try to focus on the distractors or the options given to you. So initially, if you focus on the distractors or the options given to you, you may be biased. So there is no need to focus on the distractors initially. Try to focus on the preamble, try to focus on the scheme, and then try to think about the problem for a minute or two, then try to focus on the distractors given to you. Okay. The next question is, the sugar in the mouth is a food for bacteria, poison for bacteria, excreta of bacteria, or it is a gaseous substance? What is your views? Oh, all of you are saying option A. Yes, obviously the sugar in the mouth is basically a food for bacteria. And you see that this particular information has also been mentioned indirectly in this step. So through this particular problem, what I wanted to share, that try to follow the preamble, try to follow this step carefully. It can help you to solve a particular problem in most of the times. Okay, let us go to another interesting problem. I think that all of you have seen these naphthalene box. Have you noticed the air fresheners used in toilets? The solid freshener slowly sublimes and releases the pleasant smell in the toilet over a certain period of time. In fact, sublimation is a change in a state of matter. You have studied it in your school level physics or physical science courses. A substance transforms from a solid to a gas by sublimation without ever going through a liquid phase. Chemical composition of the substance does not change when they undergo sublimation. Solid carbon dioxide, this is often known as cod ice or dry ice, changes directly to the gaseous. Naphthalene and camphor evaporate from a solid state directly into a gas. I have selected this particular problem due to the fact that it is always suggested to the teachers that while you are going to frame a particular multiple choice question, it is better if you define the keynote of your problem in the preamble. You see that this particular problem is quite related to the concept of sublimation. And the beauty of the preamble is that the definition of sublimation has been mentioned. So if a student does not recall the definition of sublimation, he or she can approach this problem equally. Sublimation occurs when the particles of a solid absorb energy to completely overcome the force of attraction between them. Probably you have some idea about intermolecular forces, right? So some very good information has been mentioned in the preamble. Now let us focus on the problem. Sublimation is a physical change because distractor A, solid substance goes into liquid state directly. Chemical composition of the substance does not change. Chemical composition of the substance completely change. And option D is changes, and option D is the change is reversible. So what is going to be your views? Yes, Hari Krishnan, Prince, Katvya, Rizu. Yes, all of you are saying that the correct answer is going to be B. Yes, obviously, as we all know that during a physical change, the chemical composition of the substance usually does not change. So this particular problem is quite straightforward, and some backbone information has already been mentioned in the preamble. The next problem related to this particular preamble is what kind of forces between particles oppose sublimation? Just try to follow the problem. What kind of forces between particles oppose sublimation? Now focus on the distractors. The force of repulsion, the force of attraction, the force of gravitation, and the frictional force. What is your idea? Naitik, Kartibba, Shaurya, Vidushi, Prince, Parth, Ankit. Okay. Most of you are saying option D. Some of you are saying option C. Some of you are saying option D. Okay. Try to follow the problem again. What kind of forces between particles oppose sublimation? Here, the most important word in the problem is the term oppose. what kind of forces between particles oppose sublimation? If I go back to the previous slide, then you will see that it has been mentioned in the preamble that in fact sublimation is a change in a state of matter. A substance transforms from a solid to a gas by sublimation without ever going through a liquid phase. Chemical composition of the substance does not change when they undergo sublimation. Okay? So, the question 1 has already been solved. The second question is, what kind of forces between particles oppose sublimation? Obviously, it should be option B, that is the force of attraction. Because there is always some intermolecular attractive interaction between the individual molecules or between the individual particles. In order to make sublimation happen, the system must have to overcome this particular force of attraction. Then and only then sublimation can take place. So if anyone asks you what kind of forces between particles oppose sublimation, so you have to think in this particular way, that if there is some attractive interaction between the molecules, then the system needs to overcome those attractive interactions, and then only sublimation can be there. So in this way, we can call that here the correct option is going to be the force of attraction. The next question, sublimation is a change in a state of matter. Where the solid? Where the solid? Try to follow the distractors. I hope that you can recall all the informations given in the preamble, right? Try to follow the distractors. Option A, it first goes into liquid, then in gas. Distractor B, it first goes into gas, then in liquid. Option C, goes directly into gas. Option D, remains in a solid state only. What is your views? Okay, all of you are saying that the correct answer is going to be option C. Yes, yes, and you see that it is already mentioned in the preamble of this particular problem. So with the help of these particular problems, I think that you will be able to understand that following the preamble, following the scheme before solving a particular problem is extremely important. Yes, this is another interesting problem, and I like this problem a lot. The pH of a soil is a measure of how acidic or alkaline it is. The pH scale ranges from 0 to 14, all of you know. The lower the pH, the more acidic and the less alkaline the soil is. A table has been provided. The table provides some information about the most suitable pH range for growing some particular plants. You see that it has been mentioned that for apple, the most suitable pH range is from 5.5 to 6.5. For asparagus, it is from 6 to 8. For beans, it is from 6 to 7.5. For carrot, it is from 5.5 to 7. For lettuce, it is from 6 to 7. For potato, 4.5 to 6. And for this one, the value is from 5 to 8. It has also been mentioned that the ideal pH is the midpoint of the given range. Okay, that is quite understandable. Now the problem. asparagus. A particular soil was found to be ideal for growing apple. Okay. If this soil were to be made more acidic by adding ammonium nitrate fertilizer, the plant that the soil would most likely be ideal for growing is distractor A, asparagus, option 2, carrot, option C, lettuce, option D, potato. So how can I approach this particular problem? You see that here ammonium nitrate based fertilizer has been added. Okay. So ammonium nitrate, this is composed of some weak base and a strong acid. Obviously, if you add ammonium nitrate, the pH will be somewhat lower than its earlier pH value. It has been mentioned in the problem that the soil was initially ideal for growing apple. So from this particular table, we can predict that the ideal pH for the growth of apple would have been around 6. Okay. Now you are adding ammonium nitrate based fertilizer. So it is our common anticipation that the resulting pH of the soil would become somewhat lower than 6, right? So this particular problem can check your thinking ability. This particular problem can check your thinking skills. Try to focus. Try to focus on the distractor A, asparagus. For asparagus, the pH range is 6 to 8. But it is quite clear to me that after adding ammonium nitrate based fertilizer, the pH of the soil, it should be lesser than 6. So I can easily eliminate asparagus, right? Okay. Now let us check carrot. For carrot, the pH range is from 5.5 to 7. So the ideal pH should be around 6.25, right? So the carrot can be a good option, proper option, because I know that the pH of the medium is right now less than 6. So carrot can be a proper option. What about lettuce? You see that for lettuce, the most suitable pH range is 6 to 7. So lettuce is also not possible. Now, last but not the least comes the distractor D, that is potato. For potato, it has been mentioned in the table that the pH range is 4.5 to 6. So the ideal pH should be around 5.3 or 5.4. So that is much lesser than the pH 6. So we should go for potato, that is D is going to be our correct answer. So through this particular problem, what I want to convey to all of you is that the process of elimination, your calmness, your thinking skill can help you to solve a particular multiple choice question. Yes, in this particular problem, several informations has already been given in the preamble. The stem is also quite straightforward. But in order to solve this problem, but in order to take the correct answer, here the process of elimination can help you. And your thinking skill can also be tested. So do not try to rush into the problem. Please take your time. Please try to read the stem. Please try to read the preamble. Then try to follow the distractors carefully. then using such process of elimination, you will be able to solve a problem like this. Okay. Okay. There comes another interesting problem. This is also quite simple. I have not selected any difficult problem. All of us know that in Mother Nature, we often deal with 20 naturally occurring alpha amino acids, right?
Yeah.
Glycine.
Dr. Amrit,
Yes, sir.
can
Yes,
we
sir.
have this last question, this one?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
So nice.
So we have several amino acids, alpha amino acids, glycine, alanine, valine, leucine, isoleucine, proline. So many such naturally occurring alpha amino acids are there. So in this particular problem, it has been mentioned that there are 20 different amino acids found in living organisms. Amino acids all contain carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. There are a few amino acids which can contain sulfur as well. You have heard the name of the amino acid cysteine. The dimer of cysteine is cysteine, which is present in our hair. There is another amino acid containing sulfur atom is methionine. Okay. Amino acids have the general formula NH2CHRCOOH. You see that the structure of amino acid varies due to different R groups present in the molecule. So amino acid to amino acid, the structure of R varies. The R is actually hydrogen for a molecule like glycine, and for rest of the 19 amino acids, R can be of some different groups. Okay. So in this particular problem, the structure of two amino acids are given. One is glycine and the other one is alanine. In glycine, the R is hydrogen. In case of alanine, the R is methyl. Okay. Okay. Now try to follow this particular problem. A 75-gram sample of glycine was analyzed and found to contain 24 grams of carbon, 14 grams of nitrogen, and 5 grams of hydrogen. Okay. The order of the masses of the individual atoms present in glycine from heaviest to lightest. Several distractors are there, A, B, C, D. Among so many different distractors, which one you are thinking is going to be the correct one? Please share your views. Okay. Vidushi, Bihan, Arohi, Prince, Parth, Aditya, Ananya, Ankit. Okay. Most of you are saying option A. From heaviest to lightest, obvious. So oxygen should be greater than nitrogen, should be greater than carbon, should be greater than hydrogen. Okay. Yes. Option A is the correct answer. You see that in this particular problem, these informations, like a 75-gram of sample of glycine was analyzed and found to contain 24 gram of carbon, 14 gram of nitrogen, and 5 gram of hydrogen. So if you do not utilize this information, then also you will be able to solve this problem. Okay. So in this way, there are some times when your stem contains some additional information that might not be of significant help to you. Often teachers add those informations in the stem. Maybe you feel a bit distracted, but try to keep yourself cool, try to focus on the problem, and then you will be able to answer properly. This particular question, protein molecules are chains of 300 amino acids joined together. Actually, amino acids, they actually connect each other with the help of a peptide bond. And in this way, the polymer of peptide often called proteins. Simply, I am saying. A peptide linkage has been given in the problem. As shown on the right, where a specific carbon atom in one amino acid molecule bonds with a nitrogen atom in the other amino acid. When glycine and alanine combine via such peptide, to form the dipeptide gliella or glycyl alanine type of molecule. In this reaction, a small molecule is also produced. What is the structure of that small? Actually, it has been mentioned with the help of this structure. Try to follow this structure, try to follow this step. Actually, during the formation of a peptide, what actually happens? A particular carboxylic acid functionality of an amino acid couples with an amino functionality of another amino acid. And then a peptide linkage can be produced. So when a carboxylic acid of an amino acid and the amino functionality of another amino acid, they comes in closer proximity, then they follow some bond formation, we'll be able to obtain a peptide linkage like that. But during the formation of such peptide, a small molecule is also going to be generated. What is that small molecule? What is your answer? So Bosachi is saying water. Onish, water, obvious. Yes, the correct answer is water. Because the carboxylic acid functionality of an amino acid, when it gets combined with another amino functionality of another amino acid, the peptide linkage is going to be generated and the small molecule like water is going to be eliminated out. So here, this particular structure of the peptide bond is the clue. Here, the structure of the peptide bond is the clue. You have to focus on this particular structure, and only then you will be able to predict the answer. So this is the last question under this particular problem. The diagram shows the structure of a part of a protein molecule. I've already told you that protein is basically a polymer. Amino acids, they combine with each other via the formation of some peptide linkage, and the long chain polymer is known as the protein, simply saying. So a particular part of a protein molecule has been given. So the simple question is, how many different types of amino acid formed in this section of the molecule? So how many amino acids are? I've already told you, it has already been mentioned in the previous name or in the preamble that during the formation of a peptide, two amino acids, they combine with each other. One carboxylic acid functionality of a particular amino acid combines with another amino group of the second amino acid, and in this way they can combine to give you some peptide linkage. So try to follow this structure carefully. The answer is hidden in the structure given. There is nothing to recall. There is nothing to remember. Just try to focus on the structure given to you. Here you see that NH, CH, CH3, CO part is there. You see that here one peptide linkage is there. Because I'm sharing one interesting clue or one technique to you. You see that when two amino acids combine, they actually form one amide or one peptide linkage. So it will be better if you calculate how many peptide linkages are present in your molecule. Okay. So there can be several such clues. There can be several such techniques. You see that in this particular molecule, there is one peptide linkage is here. There is another peptide linkage is present over here. There is another peptide linkage is present over here. There is another peptide linkage is present over here. So how many peptide linkages are present? So here 4 peptide linkages are present. Since there are 4 peptide linkages are present in your molecule, so since there are 4 peptide linkages are present in your molecule, so how many amino acids are there? So how many amino acids are there? So expected that there will be 5 amino acids, but you see that the question, but in this particular problem, it has been mentioned that how many different types of amino acids are there. So it may be the case that some of the amino acids are similar. So you have to focus on this particular part of the problem as well. You see that one alanine part is there, one glycine part is there, another amino acid is there, another amino acid is there, another amino acid is there. So undoubtedly 5 amino acids are there, but you see that 2 glycine parts are same. So here the correct answer is going to be option C, that is 4 different amino acids are there.
Sir,
So,
please finish it, sir. Please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amrit
sir.
So in this way, we can discuss these problems with you, and I think that it will be helpful to all of you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Amrit sir, for the wonderful presentation. And the students have also enjoyed a lot. I'm getting the feedback also here, and they have definitely participated. Now I will just move towards the last leg of the session, that is the quiz. So we have prepared a small 5-question quiz, the link for which is, I'm sharing it in the chat right now. So the students, everyone who is present right now, you can just visit this link. It will be open till 10 p.m. today only. It says 9 p.m., but we are ready to extend it since it's a Saturday evening. So we are giving you a bonus hour. So just try to do it by 9 itself. Okay, but the upper limit is 10 p.m. So everyone who will be filling the quiz only will get the certificate of participation. So please make sure that you're taking this link from here and appearing for the quiz at the earliest, since you have just now learned from these 2 very senior professors. You will have fun with the questions that we have brought to you in the quiz as well. And thank you for being here with us today. And it was great to have you. On 9th of October, we'll be having another session on sustainability. So we would like to invite you for that as well, though we'll be sending an official invitation later on. But on 9th of October also, we'll have 2 senior speakers on environment and sustainability. It would be a different question than today, a different session than the one we have today. But please do attend. And thank you for being here. Please take the link from the chat box.
Yes, I wish to thank Dr. Amrit Mitra. Yeah. Dr. Amrit, thank you very much for your wonderful talk, and we all enjoyed it. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, students. We'll keep the meeting open for a while so that everyone can take the link from the chat box. Please copy the link and save it somewhere, or get to the quiz right now. Some people are raising hands, so I'm just going to ask them to unmute. If you have anything to say, then you may now unmute yourself. Otherwise, you may lower your hand. Yeah.
Gargi, I have removed that forced mute condition. Now they can unmute themselves.
Okay.
Thank you, Sunny. Thank you, Sunny, for all your cooperation. This is the end
of today's session. Thank you, everyone, for attending. Thank you to both the speakers. And thank you to our administrator, Mr. Sunny, also, for smooth conduction of the whole event.
Thank you so much, Gargi. And thank you so much, Pare sir.
Yes, sir,
sir,
thank you,
should I deactivate the recording?
Yeah, we can
stop.
Yeah, we can do that. Okay. Thank you, Amrit sir. Thank you very much.